Europe's drug regulator is expected to rule on the safety of the Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine. Its rollout was halted after following recommendations from US authorities over links to extremely rare blood clots. Now, for more on this, Lucy Hoff joins us from Brussels. Lucy, it's widely expected that the drug regulator will say the shot is safe.
Yeah, I think we're expecting the European Medicines Agency to go the same way it did when it made that verdict on the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, that essentially the benefits of receiving a COVID-19 vaccine using this adenoidal technology far outweighs the risks of any small side effects. We know that in the United States, where the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has begun to be rolled out, there were some 6 cases of severe blood clotting in those recently given the vaccine, in amongst 17 million people who'd been given the jab. So really very, very small numbers. But nonetheless, J&J advised both the US and the EU to press pause on their vaccine rollouts to allow regulators time to assess those cases. So the EMA, the European Medicines Agency, will be making its decision in a few hours' time. But meanwhile, we have had tens of thousands of doses sitting in storage in countries like Italy, the Netherlands, and here in Belgium, pending this verdict. Once the European Medicines Agency comes out, it will then be up to European nations to decide how they roll the vaccine out. We know that France, for example, has already come out and said that it will be limiting the vaccine into older age groups for the over 55s, amid fears that these very rare side effects do appear to affect younger age groups.
Yes, with those vaccines sort of on standby, the EU must be getting very keen to get its vaccination program off the ground.
Well, see, there has been real signs of improvement here in Europe. I mean, Germany has been regularly surpassing the 700,000 daily vaccination milestone. France, similarly, has been in excess of 450,000 per day. So some real signs of improvement. But certainly, you know, those 2 vaccines that have run into real trouble here, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine and the Johnson & Johnson, which has now been paused for several days, with the first doses beginning to arrive at the beginning of last week, now facing kind of hesitancy and a bit of skepticism, given the issues of messaging about these very small cases of severe side effects. So there are fears that in countries like Germany, where certainly they had betted heavily on the J&J vaccine, expecting some 10 million doses to arrive, that will impact the rollout in the short term. But meanwhile, we are expecting 250 million doses of BioNTech, Pfizer, and certainly the EU Commission does appear to be pivoting from these vaccines like AstraZeneca and Johnson and the technology that they're using to the messenger RNA vaccines technology used by BioNTech, Pfizer and Moderna in the longer term. We know that there's been a major new contract that's in the works with those companies, BioNTech, Pfizer, for next year and the following. So signs of real improvement, but certainly concerns that the latest problems with Johnson & Johnson, it could become the new AstraZeneca, could hinder the EU's vaccine rollout in the short and medium term.
OK, thanks for getting us up to speed. Lucy Hoff there in Brussels.